Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 26 updates and spoilers. It's eviction night. Woo! Excited? I'm semi excited. It really depends on what happens with this AI competition. But before we get into that, our house guest of the day is John Preeb. John, thank you so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate you so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day like John, check out our Patreon link in the description below. And you will also find down there our Paramount Plus link. And if you want to use our link to get the live feeds, that would really help us out. All right. So, my oh my, things have changed in the last 24 hours since we last spoke. When we left off yesterday, of course, we had Mackenzie, Angela, and Tucker up on the block, right? And at that time, Mackenzie appeared to be the most in danger out of the three nominees. It looked like she would go home against both Angela and Tucker, right? So if she didn't win that AI competition, she's out of here. She is T-Core's number one target at this point, even though T-Core has said many times she prefers Mackenzie on a personal level, but she knows that Angela sticking around would be better for her game. Mackenzie did have some support, though, throughout the house. We have seen Quinn, Chelsea, Cam, they would all rather see Angela out over Mackenzie, but the votes just aren't there to make that happen. Out of the three nominees, Tucker seemed to be the most safe, which is wild. People didn't really want to turn on him yet. They thought it was too soon. He's still a good shield for them. There's a variety of different reasons. Bottom line, it seemed like he would be staying even if he left if he lost the AI competition. Well, then Chelsea got to work and things have changed. Okay, so Chelsea, Joseph, and Leah were chatting in the pedal bedroom. They're talking about the vote, of course. And Joseph was campaigning for Angela to stay if it's Angela versus Mackenzie up on the block. And he's saying Angela would not put any of us three up if she were to win HOH. And he's like, I'm not saying Mackenzie necessarily would put any of us up, but he doesn't know what Mackenzie would do, right? He feels much more confident that Angela would not. He's really also pushing Angela loves us. She just thinks the three of us are the greatest, blah, blah, blah. So then Angela comes in and they're like, can you give us a few minutes to talk? So they turn her away and she's like, okay. So Angela leaves and Joseph's like, that I don't love. So then these three, Joseph, Leah, and Chelsea, are all laughing their asses off. I feel like Joseph is so much meaner when he's around Leah. He's trying to be mean to impress her and make her laugh, and it's really gross. But anyway, yeah, Chelsea says we really need to figure out where everybody else's votes lie this week because we don't want to be on the wrong side of the vote. That wouldn't be the first time for Chelsea. She does not want that to happen again. So Chelsea was also saying, I was talking to T-Core and I told her she needs to be prepared because this could end up being a tied vote this week, right? There are 8 people voting. So it's 4 votes to tie, 5 votes to evict. So there is that possibility that T-Core could have to break a tie. And we know she really does not want it to come down to that because that would mean she has to make a decision and she wouldn't have days to agonize over it with chemo and whisper about what she's going to do. She'd have to decide very quickly. So, yeah, she's really concerned about the possibility of a tie. But Chelsea brings up, what are we doing if Tucker is still on the block? What if he doesn't win the AI competition? No one is really mentioning that scenario. So she figures people are probably just scared because if they do talk about that, it's going to get back to Tucker. I mean, look what happened to Angela. Right? That didn't go well for her. She was ratted out immediately by Quinn. Or maybe people are just assuming that Tucker is definitely going to win the AI competition. So they're not even considering, what if he's still on the block? So then Chelsea's wondering, what if Tucker still wants to throw the AI comp? Because he was saying that for a short time after the veto ceremony when Angela went up on the block with him and Mackenzie. But no, that didn't last that long. He wants to win now. He definitely still wants to win and stay in this game. So yeah, she's a little behind on that. Maybe it's just wishful thinking on her part. But anyway, Tucker, T-Core, and Chemo are chatting in the back bedroom. And Tucker is talking about what's going to happen if it's Mackenzie and Angela up on the block. He's pretty confident that he's going to win this competition, and that's what it's going to be, Mackenzie versus Angela. So he says, I'm telling people that I would vote out Angela, but in reality, he would vote out Mackenzie. And he wants this to be a blindside. He wants Quinn, Chelsea, and Cam all to be on the wrong side of the vote. He thinks that they're all a part of this like Ballers alliance, which honestly they are kind of becoming an alliance, but that is also because like they're being left out of things. But they were not an alliance called the Ballers. Like that Ballers, no, that's not a thing with Chelsea, Cam, and Quinn. Tucker was in an alliance called the Ballers, but he forgot that. So he really wants to blindside them and have Angela stay this week. So he says, again, to T-Core, it seems very likely that you might have to break a tie this week. So prepare yourself for that. Do you think every time somebody says that to T-Core, she's just like, yeah. So Tucker says that he, Joseph, Chemo, and Rubina would be the 4 votes for Mackenzie to go, and then T-Core could send her packing with the tiebreaker. He is also talking about how he's super suspicious about Quinn at this point. He does not trust him, and he says Quinn is incredibly calculated. He's wicked smart, and he's been throwing the mental competitions. I don't know that that's true. I don't know if Quinn's really been throwing many comps, but Tucker seems to think so. Also, again, keep in mind, Tucker thinks that Quinn is in an alliance called the Ballers with Chelsea and Cam, but in reality, that is an alliance that Tucker was in with Kenny, Cam, and Cedric. And the whole point of that alliance was to take Quinn out. But then Cedric didn't follow through with putting Quinn up on the block. That all fell apart. And Tucker seems to have forgotten about all this. What? Does he not remember just a few weeks ago? I don't know. But Tucker is saying if he wins HOH, he wants to put Quinn up on the block and possibly with Chelsea and Cam. All right. So a quick little tidbit from last night. Apparently Tucker was telling Mackenzie that she should throw the AI competition. Just like the nerve to even say that to somebody who is up on the block next to you. Like it's a lot. I mean, I guess you could try it, but like, come on. So Mackenzie's going around telling people that, and she's like, yeah, he told me that that's the only way that we can both stay, because then he wins the competition, he's safe, and then I would have the votes to stay against Angela. Now, we know this is a lie because Tucker wants Mackenzie to go. He wants Angela to stay. So he's just trying to get her to throw the comp so she'll stay up on the block and then they can vote her out. So when Mackenzie is telling people about this, everyone's telling her, do not throw the competition. Do not listen to that man, okay? If you were up on that block, you fight for that win. All right. I don't think she was actually considering throwing it. That would be insane. But anyway, Quinn and Chelsea have a game chat. And this is a pivotal conversation. It's very important. So these two both have realized they are not part of the current main alliance running things right now. They feel like they're pretty cool with them, and you know that alliance that I'm talking about is like T-Core, Chemo, Rubina, Tucker, Joseph is in there, right? He's in the mix. So they both feel like they're cool with that group, but they're also expendable to them, right? They are not part of that main group. So Quinn brings up how he keeps hearing people saying that they want Chelsea to make it to jury, but they haven't really been talking about her going any further than that. So Quinn and Chelsea also agree, we got to work together. We have to work together right now or else we are effed. Yes, I would agree with that. They need to work together. So they say they have each other's backs, and Quinn reveals that when people have been asking him who he would put up if he wins HOH, he's been saying he would put up Chelsea and Cam, which is true. I have heard him say this, but he says in reality, that he says that's just a cover. In reality, he says he would put up either Tucker and Rubina or Tikor and Chemo. Oh, damn! I'm not gonna lie, that would be very entertaining. And Quinn says Joseph is also a part of that crew, right? But I mean, that 4, everybody knows how tight that 4 is. So they talk about how obvious that group is making it, that they are working together. I mean, look at the way Chemo and Rubina were crying their eyes out when Tikor won HOH. Can they make it any more obvious? For real. Yeah, so Chelsea and Quinn agree that group is way too comfortable. They're like the new collective. 100%. I mean, if you even look at what happened this week, Tikor felt comfortable enough to put up her own ally, Tucker, on the block. Look what happened when Cedric volunteered to go up on the block when one of his allies was running things, right? So yeah. It is very, very similar. Also, Tikor, Chemo, Rubina, and Tucker, they all have their 4, the Frenzies Alliance, within the 6th Avenue Alliance. So they're like the new Pentagon. It is very similar to what was going on with the collective. So Quinn says, honestly, I was already wondering if we would be able to get the votes to take out Tucker. And then Angela approached me about it. So he was like, yeah, I threw her under the bus because I wanted to make sure that she was going to be the replacement nominee this week. Because again, he didn't want it to be Leah. He had to protect Leah. So, Chelsea and Quinn were also talking about how they can tell the other side is trying to blindside them about this vote. I mean, look at the way Tucker was telling Mackenzie to throw the AI competition. Chelsea says, no, he is saying that because he wants to then vote Mackenzie out at the last minute. Yes, definitely. So they see through that. So then they're going over the potential votes to take out Tucker if he is still up on the block. And again, they would need 5 to make this happen because they need to make sure it's not a tie because they don't need Tikor getting involved here and ruining their plan. So Chelsea's like, all right, me, you, Cam, Leah, and then whichever nominee is coming off the block, whoever wins that AI arena comp. So Chelsea is pretty confident that if it's Mackenzie, she would vote out Tucker, right? Because Mackenzie's been getting frustrated that no one seems to be talking this week about the possibility of Tucker going. So after this conversation, Quinn and Chelsea, they both want to flip this vote. Quinn brings up that he's going to even be wearing Rubina's skirt for the live show, which I just saw a picture before we started the stream. He is, in fact, wearing one of Rubina's skirts, and it's like a short one, too. And he says it's just going to make it even more epic if we evict Tucker when I'm wearing his lady's skirt, right? That would be pretty wild. So after this conversation, Quinn is talking to the cameras and he's like celebrating. He's like, and he's whispering that he is praying that Tucker loses the AI arena competition. He says, I will flip the house. I do not care. I'm not scared. I came here to play big and be dynamic. And he says, I'm not just going to sit here and accept 6th place with Tucker, Rubina, Tikor, Chemo, and Joseph all ahead of me, right? He doesn't want to let that happen. He says, I refuse to accept that. I came here to play. Okay. And it's funny because we've seen him say over and over again that like he's prioritizing Tikor and Chemo above any of his other alliances that he's had going on. But I think that this HOH this week has really made Quinn realize Tikor and Chemo are not doing the same for him, right? He's seeing how close those two are to Rubina, to Tucker, to Joseph even. So he's not feeling good about his standing with them. So he would definitely be willing to flip this vote on them. All right. Meanwhile, and also they did the same thing to him when they voted on Cedric. They didn't tell him ahead of time. So I think he's still a little burnt from that as well. But meanwhile, Chelsea is checking in with Mackenzie. And Chelsea asks, all right, if you take yourself off the block by winning the AI arena, who are you voting for to go? And Mackenzie says, Tucker. And Chelsea's like, all right, great. We have enough people then. We can do it. So it looks like the flip is on. Oh my God. So a few minutes later, Chelsea and Rubina are chatting about the vote, and Chelsea is playing dumb. As she should, right? She's like, yeah, I've been trying to put out feelers today, but people haven't really been telling me how they're going to vote in any of the scenarios. But she does tell Rubina, I just don't want to be on the wrong side of the vote, right? So I just need to know what people are doing. And she says, from what I've heard, if Tucker is still up on the block, he should have the votes to stay. But she also does say, like, who knows what could happen in that 2 or 3 minutes leading up to the vote when Julie's always yelling at everyone to campaign. Who knows what's going to happen during that time. So she kind of leaves the door open there. But she is saying, like, I think Tucker has the votes at this point. Okay, so then the feeds go down for 2 hours and 14 minutes for the halfway party. And if you haven't been watching in the past, every year they have this halfway party. They get a catered dinner for the house guests. They have this cake with the memory wall photos on it. There's music, there's booze. So that's why it's blocked from the feeds, because this is their time to really just like chill and not have to worry about all of us watching. But when the feeds come back, everyone is hanging out in that first bedroom except for Tucker and Rubina, who are in the back bedroom. So then everybody starts counting down from 10, like it's New Year's Eve. And when they get to 0, I think, by the way, apparently Rubina and Tucker were like, we have an announcement to make, so like everybody gather in here. How much alcohol did they get at this party? So when they get to 0 in the countdown, Tucker busts open the door. He walks in carrying Rubina. She has her freaking legs wrapped around him, bachelor style, and they're making out in front of everyone while everyone's cheering. This is a lot. So like Mackenzie starts crying. She's like, I'm so happy. For their relationship or for the growing target on Tucker's back, who's also on the block next to you? Because that's why I'd be happy. But yeah, this is a lot. They are showing everyone our relationship is real. We can't hide it anymore. Also, before this, Tucker and Rubina were caught by Leah like kissing. She saw them kissing. So they were like, I guess we have to just like come clean, and they just want to like live their truth, you know? So this is dumb because I mean, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, obviously everybody already had their suspicions anyway that they were together, especially after Tucker tried to out them via the AI instigator. But now, like, to see it with your own eyes, to have it like shoved down your throat in the way that they are doing right now is just a level of obnoxiousness that I think a lot of people were quite turned off by. And like it's kind of like an F you, we're doing what we want, and try to do something about it. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. Like if I was one of the other house guests and I saw this happening in front of me, I'd be like, all right, I guess I have my 2 new targets, right? And also just like the fact that they're doing this when Tucker is on the block, like that's so bold. So everybody is still in that room. Tucker and Rubina are whispering to each other, and they're like all over each other in front of everyone. It's honestly pretty cringe, I have to say. But Tucker's like, you guys have no idea how much Rubina and I have been holding back. Have you though? I don't know about that. But they're all like, it's okay, it's okay. Like, we love it. We love. So Rubina is crying, and she's like sobbing, crying. She's like, I tried really hard not to get into showmance. And Tucker's saying he was trying to avoid it too. But when you meet someone super sweet, you can't deny it as much as you try to. So like, it's sweet, but it's also just like, is it worth it for you guys? Because you're kind of like throwing your games away right now. But Tucker says, we know that this can be detrimental to the game, but we don't give an F. We care about each other a lot. Okay, bye then. Have fun living your lives together, but like, why would you do this during the game? Like, why not just keep it on the down low, or just like not throw it in people's faces at least? It's just a lot. So everyone's saying that they're happy for them. They're telling them enjoy it. And they're asking, like, when did you first know? And Tucker says it was pretty much when they first met, you know, love at first sight. So Then Tucker is saying, I hope we're not going to be targeted for this because, like, that's what really scared us about being out in the open about it. And Tucker says, we're all mature. Like, I think we can all compartmentalize this from that. Like, basically saying, okay, we're really close on a personal level, but we're still playing separate games. I'm sorry, but no. No, like, you chose to be open about a showmance like this. It's definitely gonna have an impact on the game. Are you serious? You gotta break that shit up ASAP if you're any of these other house guests. And if the votes were not secured for Tucker to go already, they certainly are now. So after this whole spectacle, Chelsea tells Mackenzie, you got to win that AI competition. She's telling her, don't be intimidated.
I found this on the web, but they certainly are now. So after this whole spectacle, Chelsea tells Mackenzie, check it out.
She just read me for filth on the other computer. She just repeated back everything I was saying. But anyway, hopefully that's off now. Okay. So Chelsea's telling Mackenzie, don't be intimidated. I know you're going up against Tucker, but like you can do this. You've got this. And she's telling her, you have one job. We'll do the rest. We'll take care of the votes. I don't know why that keeps going off. I don't know if I'm saying a word that's like close to her name or what. But anyway, Cam comes in and Chelsea lets him know we now have the votes to take out Tucker if he's still up on the block. And Cam's like, woo, I'm glad you guys were not swayed by that display of emotion that we just saw. And they were just like, no. Okay, so yeah, after all of the craziness, yeah, that's my own Ainsley in here. It doesn't take long for Rubina to start freaking out. You knew this was coming, right? I mean, she's any opportunity she has to talk about her showmance with Tucker, she's gonna take it. So Rubina's like, did we just blow it? Should we have kept this a secret? Everyone's gonna be targeting us now. Yeah. Are you new to this show? So she's asking T-Core and Chemo, do you guys even still want to work with me and Tucker? Like, we should have asked you about this first before we made our little announcement. I have to say, T-Core did privately voice some concerns to Chemo because she's worried now that Rubina might potentially choose Tucker over them at some point. You think? But of course, to their faces, these four are all hunky dory, like frenzies. Yay, let's do this. So, yeah. Quinn and Chelsea, they had another check in last night, and they are still on board for this flip if Tucker stays up on the block. And they know now that Mackenzie would vote Tucker out. They have confirmation from her, but they're wondering, what would Angela do? What would Angela do if she wins the AI competition? Will she vote Tucker out? I mean, she got caught this week trying to rally the votes to take him out, but now she's kind of been all apologetic towards him and like kissing his ass and saying she's sorry. But is that like just in case he stays and wins HOH, or what? Like, if she has the opportunity, is she going to vote him out? I have to say yes, right? Especially after the big makeout announcement in front of everybody. Plus, there was a conversation with Angela, Mackenzie, Leah, and Chelsea where Mackenzie was like, I'm going to be so pissed if those two are having sex in the house. And Leah was like, yeah, they are. And Angela was just like, right? I mean, she already had a lot of concerns that there's no way that Tucker would choose her over Rubina. So I would have to think if Angela is the one that wins the AI competition that she would vote Tucker out. So Chelsea and Quinn agree that if this flip goes through, everything goes according to plan, and people are asking them like how it happened, what, tell us how you made this flip happen. They're gonna lie and say that it was a last minute decision, just like what T-Core and Chemo said when they voted out Cedric, because Chelsea and Quinn know that that was not a last minute decision, right? That was not decided in the 2 or 3 minutes before the vote. They knew that ahead of time. So they're just going to give that right back to T-Core and Chemo. They also discuss how either one of them, Cam or Leah, needs to win this next HOH so they can keep making some moves here. They want to break up that trio of T-Core, Chemo, and Rubina. That'd be a lot of fun. I think they need to take that trio down a notch, right? Also, how wild would it be if Chelsea was the one to put T-Core up on the block when T-Core has been so protective of Chelsea this entire time? It'd be insane. But the rest of last night, Tucker and Rubina are making out all over the place. They exchange I love yous. I don't think this was the first time they said I love you, but it's the first time we saw them say it. Also, T-Core, Chemo, Rubina, Joseph, they continue to be in the dark about this potential vote flip. Oh boy. And they're feeling pretty confident that Tucker will be safe if he is still up on the block. I feel like deep down, though, Tucker knows that he's gone if he doesn't win this AI competition. I think he realizes he's just going to be way too appetizing of a target to be up on that block. But, like, if he knows he has to win this AI competition, why did he stay up until 4 a.m.? Get your rest, man. I guess he was like, you know what? If it's my last night, I want to have a lot of fun and like cuddle with Rubina, blah, blah, blah. Go to bed. Okay. So today, the flip is still on if Tucker is still up on the block. However, Julie gave us a preview on social media of tonight's AI competition, and she let us know it's a 10-piece puzzle. It's going to list out these numbers or letters or whatever, some sort of combination. When it is put together correctly, you have to find that combination and buzz in, whatever. So it's a 10-piece puzzle. Tucker loves puzzles. He really loves puzzles. So there's a very good chance that Tucker will be winning this AI competition, and he's not even going to be on the block. So you never know. You never know what could happen in the AI arena, right? But there's a good chance that it's going to be Angela versus Mackenzie. So I'm guessing in that case, Mackenzie would get voted out, right? Because that rebel crew, even if they wanted to make a statement, they would not have enough votes to make it happen, right? Because them having enough votes is dependent on Tucker losing the AI competition. So if Tucker is the one who wins and comes off the block, that's not going to be a vote on their side. So the most votes that they could get, even if Leah is still on board, would be 4. And 4 is not going to be enough because that's going to be a tiebreaker. And then T-Core can send Mackenzie home over Angela. So if it is Angela versus Mackenzie, it looks like Mackenzie would be the one leaving. Also, Tucker is still trying to make this blind side happen. He wants Quinn, Chelsea, and Cam to be on the wrong side of the vote. So he was telling Joseph to lie about his vote and act like he's voting out Angela, when in reality, the plan is to vote out Mackenzie. And Joseph's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to lie to Quinn. I don't want to leave him out of another vote. Like, he's really nervous. What if Quinn wins HOH and then he's pissed at me? So he doesn't want to do it. So he's trying to push back against Tucker. And Tucker was like, say you're going to do one thing and then do the other. And Joseph like, that's lying. I don't want to do that. So yeah, his plan is basically just to avoid Quinn so he doesn't have to talk about it. Good luck with that. But let's be real. Chelsea, Cam, Quinn, they know that the plan is to vote out Mackenzie. There's no fooling them with this, as far as we know. But anyway, we'll see what happens tonight. You never know what's going to happen in that AI arena. So thank you all so much for watching. And I want to thank our super chatters as well. So let's see who we've got. Kiki Holly, thank you so much. Oh, 3rd super on a live stream. Yay. Kiki says, Maddie, hi. I was so worried about your updates when BB announced there would be no flashbacks. Me too. Do you have any tips to keep up with the live feeds without flashbacks? You have been doing amazing. Thank you so much. I will tell you exactly how I keep up without flashbacks. So I follow a crap ton of update accounts on Twitter. Actually, okay, I'm going to give you all of my favorite sources that I use on a daily basis. Of course, you know, the OG Hamster Watch. Gotta love Hamster Watch. Her website as well, because she also puts stuff on her website that is not on her Twitter, right? So she even writes up like daily recaps, which are very helpful and also very entertaining. Online Big Brother is one of my favorites for like summaries of what's been going on. instead of just like minute by minute updates, which is helpful as well. And then some of my favorite updater accounts on Twitter, we have at BB Live Updaters. That one's pretty good. One of my new favorites this season, this is the first time I'm following them, at the Big Bro T is very good. At 89 Razor Skate 20. That one, okay, this one is especially good because this one has a lot of clips from the feeds if you are looking to actually watch footage and clips. So definitely check that one out. And then of course at BB underscore updates is always helpful as well. They haven't been able to post as much in the last few seasons, but their tweets are always super, super accurate. So yeah. When you put all of those together, that's how I'm able to keep up with everything and make sure like all these updates are correct, because it's hard, especially without flashbacks, to make sure that you're hearing things right. So that's why I try to watch as many clips as I can, but also just like cross-reference a lot of the updates just so I can make sure they're all accurate. But that's who I use. So I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting. There are other ones that I use from time to time, but those are the main ones that I focus on. Darby C, thank you so much. Darby says, if they get the chance, they better get rid of Tucker. I know, right? And I'm right back where I was with the whole Cedric flip, because while I want that Frenzy's alliance to be broken up, I don't necessarily want Tucker to be the one leaving, right? So the same way with Cedric. I really like Cedric, but I wanted the collective and the Pentagon to be broken up. It just so happens that Tucker is now the person who would be taking the fall for the group. But yeah, I would love to see that group get broken up for sure. Sean Davis, thank you so much. Sean says, happy eviction day. Woo! Joseph is a clown and Quinn is a rat. I couldn't see what that was at first. He's a rat. Oh, how convenient. AI Arena is a puzzle for Mr. I really love puzzles. They really need to do a triple eviction for some of these people to go. Damn, a triple eviction would be wild. I feel like we haven't seen one in a minute, so that would be very entertaining. I'd even just take a double right now because I feel like we could use a little bit of a shakeup, a little bit of a catalyst here with a double eviction would be nice. I think we'll probably have one coming up soon, but I don't know when exactly. But yes, I agree. Matt's takes, thank you so much for the super chat. And Matt says, it's are we in the Matrix? Matt says, it's my first time ever watching Big Brother, and I can't believe I went all this time without it. Oh, huge fan. You've inspired me to possibly cover the show on my own channel, but keeping up with the feeds is insane. Lol. Yeah. If you do decide to cover the show, I wish you luck. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. You have to really, really love it. Ooh, well, lights out on that. You have to really enjoy it. But yeah, it is fun though. When it's good, it's really, really good. But there are some days that can really drag. So I wish you the best with that. But I'm glad you're joining us here. We really appreciate it. So we're in the dark. We got to go. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll be back tonight to no. We'll be back tonight to talk about the eviction episode. So we hope you join us for that. Do I look like a different person? Do I look like a different person in this other lighting? So yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Thanks for watching. And until next time, much love. Bye, everybody.